every day is different.
Yeah.
Every day new challenges, new weather, new spots. Everything is kind of new every day.
Here we are today with Henkka.
Hello.
And Henkka is driving for this timber truck company Timo Salo here in Lahti region, Finland. The weather is, I would say, is it demanding or?
No, it's normal Finland weather.
We will today go and pick up a full load. We are talking about 76-ton combination weight.
Yeah.
I mean, this is harvesting season, I think.
We have so much work to do, so we are driving 24/7.
And how does it go here in Finland? Do you drive in 2 shifts or how does it normally go?
Yeah, someone drives 2 shifts and someone lives in the truck for a week and drives some long days. It depends.
Which one do you prefer?
I like to live in the cabins. This is like a home for me, so.
It looks like your home, and it's quite nice looking truck from the outside as well.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to decide how it looks?
Yeah, this truck is built by myself, so I built this for myself, so it looks like I wanted to.
The company allows you to do that then?
Yeah, I try to be good driver, so they allow to me to do the truck like I want.
Yeah, really nice. When you got this truck 2 years ago, you had a quite good opportunity to specify things by yourself. So what did you pick?
The first thing was full air suspension, and then the high cabin, and then the 4th axle.
As a pusher.
Yeah, as a pusher. Yeah. Then I said we could try the 750 horsepower engine with the
long rear axle ratio or fast rear axle ratio.
And it has been a good choice.
Yeah. So now when you were driving 81 kilometers per hour, you had RPM around 1000 with the gear number 12, and that's quite fast rear axle ratio for a timber truck. How did you end up being a timber truck driver?
Kind of by an accident. I was before driving forest machines in the woods. I put a application to Kuljetus Timo Salo, and now I've been here for 10 years.
And I guess you like it.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, this is for me, and it's challenging and rewarding, and this is the job for me.
How would you say if somebody would want to become a timber truck driver in Finland?
It's a long journey to become a timber truck driver here in Finland, but it is possible for everyone. I think so.
What are the main skills you need?
You need to have we call it in Finland, pelisilmä, game eye.
You probably need to think before you do.
Yeah, just like that. And you need to manage everything by yourself. We are alone in the woods, so everything you must figure it out by yourself.
What is the temperature right now? It's around -3. -3. This is snow being as slippery as it can be at this weather, because when it starts to get close to 0, it's kind of wet snow. If you have a very cold weather, then it's more frosty and you have a lot better traction. So
and the forecast says that tomorrow is +4 and raining water.
Yeah, and that's the worst.
Yeah, that's the worst. Yeah.
Working alone, you said that you like it, and I in my thinking, truck driving profession is for those who like doing stuff on their own with their own hands. What is the most challenging situation you need to sort out on your own when you are in the forest?
Well, the most challenging times are when the equipment goes broke, so we have to fix it. So that's the most challenging thing. Yeah.
What type of fixing can you do in the forest by yourself?
We can change hydraulic hoses to the crane. We must change them by yourself at the forest, and sometimes you need to, if the rim hits a stone or a stump, so you must do it hammering. So.
But normally you manage to sort them out by yourself. You don't need any assistance to the forest.
Normally, yeah.
In some standards, the road starts to get smaller and smaller, but this is still a big road for you.
Yeah, this is a highway. we leave the note for the other people where is my telephone number that we are here. So if somebody else is coming here, so he can call me and we don't get the collision.
Yeah. And now you lifted up some of the axles. The second one is lifted up and this will make the truck turn around in really small space.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you drive fast, you will be in trouble.
Yeah, no. It cannot be driving fast.
Yeah. So it's only made for the forest end to get around. And then we have also here, this one is down on the ground, but then we have the fourth and fifth axle lifted up. Yeah, now it's actually a 2-axle trailer, so it should turn around in rather small space. So then we leave that note here and then we put some chains on.
Yep.
From a switch, lift the fender up, and then it's easier to put the chains on. And practice makes perfect. So if you do this 100 times a year, you become master in it.
Yeah.
So this is a country road. We have people living in here, but it's still a road that if somebody would come onto us with similar truck, would be a pretty challenging situation.
Yep. 5
to 10 centimeters fresh snow, but that doesn't really bother us now with the chains on.
No, and it's a light snow, so it doesn't matter.
And then on this road, if you didn't know that you can turn around somewhere, I guess for a normal driver, it would be a little bit frustrating. But you have here in the map the turning points and you can now scroll the map with using your hand there, so you can see the pickup point and turning point. Yeah. So there's a marked turning point and pickup point in the map.
Every road is a own adventure.
Yeah. I guess that's also a positive thing of this job, that it's not exactly same pickup point.
Yeah.
How far from the home depot you normally go? Do you ever go really far out, or?
Yeah, sometimes at the other side of the country.
Yeah. So occasionally that happens too.
Yeah.
And you have now gone into manual mode. I guess that's for not having a gear shift when you don't want to have one. When we go on the smaller road, so I like to drive on the manual. So So I order what to do, not the car. Yeah.
Yep.
And then you probably have set something else here on as well. You have at least the cross locks or the inter-axle differential lock on.
Yeah.
And then you have lifted the trailer axles up. And that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it.
With the chains on, you probably don't need the full lock, or do you?
Hope not. Yeah. We're going to turn on the smaller road.
Yeah. So this is still highway. For
Yeah.
We start to have some uphills.
Very easy. There we have some of our woods, but we still must go to the turning point.
So we will pick up from here, but we have to get the truck around first.
Yep. So as you can see, we have a stump there, so I have to lift with the crane the trailer away.
quite handy to have crane of your own.
Yeah.
And I guess it's now a little bit different to drive the same road with the load on.
Yeah, a bit different, yeah.
And there's somebody coming on to us.
Yes. Let's see. This is perfect example what happens when he doesn't call my number. So if this would happen in a steep hill, so you will be in a big trouble.
How is the I-shift gearbox to drive timber? Is it better or worse than manual?
Better.
Yeah.
I don't miss the manual gearbox anymore.
Yeah. And I guess it's quite easy to take over and go into manual and come back to automatic when needed. So that's quite easy. There's no problem maintaining traction now when we have chains on. It comes quite smoothly out here.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. The hardest part is over already, so.
Yeah. And now the roads just get better and better.
Yeah.
How many loads do you normally take per shift to the factory?
Average is about 3 loads.
Yeah. I was pretty close to what I did when I was hauling fertilizer to farms. I was just driving the stuff to the other direction on these roads.
Yeah, right. We have some tight corner here to the bigger road, so I'll lift the pusher axle up and maximize the weight on the front axle, so I make sure this will turn here.
Again, no problem whatsoever.
Tight, but good.
Yeah. So we still have the chains on. We're trying to look for a good place to take them off, but I guess the dilemma is that it has to be a safe place and we need to get moving from that place as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't help to take them off and then sit on that place.
Yeah, and it's a safety issue because there are other traffics and then we can't stop in the blind spot, so It
Yeah.
would have to be good view for everyone.
Yeah.
We could try here. Another one behind us. So.
He's the one hauling stuff to the other direction, fertilizer load.
All right, we are ready to go.
Yeah, let's go.
But I think that what was in the forest was the hardest part of this job.
Yeah.
At this point to the mill, it's same that everyone else truck driver do also.
Yeah, if I think this from global perspective, this already is pretty challenging road for many drivers who are not used to winter, but I guess
Yeah, of course.
this is in Nordic countries bread and butter. If you drive anywhere outside of a city and the biggest roads, then this is the type of road
Yeah.
you will be driving.
Yeah, this is really good road, so it's not a problem for Nordic drivers.
And in this kind of conditions and roads, I guess you just need to a little bit plan ahead where do you stop, how do you get going, and then, for instance, now we have this uphill. You cannot really stop driving here. You need to get to the other side.
Yeah, on top. Yeah.
But then you get used to it, and then you stop thinking of it too much. You just do it.
And you start to enjoy.
Yeah. So you need to like being on your own, sorting out challenges, and then I guess quite big part of this is actually being outdoors.
Yeah.
So if you don't enjoy being out, then then it doesn't really work for you.
Yeah.
But then if you do, you see a lot of forest and nature and be in the fresh air. Thank you for taking me to the forest today. It's been a real pleasure, Henkka.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing your job with me
Yeah, of course.
and with you.